Shekalim Perek Aleph, Mishnah Vav. We're going to talk about this thing in the next two Mishnayot called the Kalbon. The Kalbon is an additional payment in addition to the Chatzi, to the Machzit HaShekel. Everybody knows you have to give Machzit HaShekel. That's a topic of our Masechta. You have to give a half shekel to the Beit HaMikdash. But there's this additional payment called the Kalbon. The best way I can explain it is by looking at exchange rates. You know, there's a price to buy and sell. So when I exchange money, so we talk about exchanging between different kind of currencies. So today, to make change doesn't cost any money. If I give somebody, a 10 shekel coin, can you see the shekel? Here we go. 10 shekel coin, and I'm handing it over here, you can't see. 10 shekel coin, and I say, give me 2 5s, he doesn't charge me money. But back in the times of the Beit HaMikdash, it would cost the money to exchange. It would cost some money. He would charge you money for the service of exchanging money. By the way, this probably explains why in Israel, everything you do in a bank costs money. Americans aren't used to that. Like when you go to Israel, when you go to America, you write a check, you use the ATM, they're free. Nothing is free in Israel. Everything costs money to do in a bank. So I guess this is based on the Mishnah. So this is this thing called Kalbon. If I want to exchange money, I have to pay an additional amount. If I go to the money changer, let me go back to exchange, to talk about money rates in the times of the Mishnah. So we know, okay, so in the times of the Torah, so the blue is the Torah, and the Torah said you have to give half shekel, okay? A full shekel in the times of the Torah. This is going to be really confusing, but there's nothing I can do about this. I'm explaining this as simply as I can. A shekel in the times of the Torah, the value of a shekel in the times of the Torah was called a selah in the times of the Mishnah. 1 selah was equal to 4 dinar, okay, which is, so half a shekel, okay, chatzi shekel in the times of the Torah was called a shekel. So 1 shekel, let me just copy that, okay, was equal to, 1 shekel, let me see if I can move this here. Here we go. 1 shekel was equal to 2 dinar, So 1 shekel in the times of the Mishnah is really the half shekel in the times of the Torah. So, let's say I didn't have a half shekel. All I had was a selah. So if I went to the money change guy, if I went to the shulchani, I said, okay, I got a selah, give me 2 shekel. Remember, because 2 shekel is 4 dinar, which is equal to a half shekel in the times of the Torah. Don't get confused. He'll say, fine, I'll give you 2 shekel, but there's a fee to exchange the money. No problem. So now what happens though, if I go to the Beit HaMikdash and I say, listen, instead of me paying you 2 shekel because I don't have that, I got a selah, I'll pay for me and my friend. So then the Chachamim said, well, you pay for you and your friend, you're saving yourself the additional fee that you would pay at the money changer. You have to give that fee, the Chachamim said, to the Beit HaMikdash. That fee is called the Kalbon. All right, I think I explained that as well as I could. I never say this is the 3rd try. So I hope you understand. If you have questions, email me at arspoter@gmail.com. And this is a great time to dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman, and Aisha Tzipora Fega Matilda Bar Nachum Elimelech. She was a Holocaust survivor and a very impressive woman who just passed away. I don't know when you're watching this, but now. Okay, so this is the Kalbon. The Kalbon is the fee that you pay for exchanging a larger coin for a smaller coin, according to the Chachamim. We're going to see it's a machloket what the Kalbon is, but according to the Chachamim. Rabbi Meir says no. Rabbi Meir says that Kalbon is something different, as we're going to see. Let's read the Mishnah. Who has to pay this Kalbon, this additional money-changing fee? Leviim, v'Yisraelim, v'Gerim, v'Avadim, Shucharim. Anyone who has to, remember we learned, someone who is mimashli has to pay the machzir shekel, and if he doesn't pay, mimashkinim notor. We say, okay, I'll take your cell phone until you pay the machzir shekel. So all those people who we would be mashkein, we would take as collateral their property, they have to pay this Kalbon, according to the Chachamim, if they save on the money changing. Avalo kohanim v'nashim v'avadim uktanim. But not kohanim or women or slaves or minors, because they don't have to pay anyway. So if they want to save on the money changing fee, great. Therefore, hashokel al yedei kohen, al yedei isha, al yedei eved, al yedei katan patur. So even though normally the money changing rate you have to pay is I have to pay if I use the money changing rate if I myself would pay. But if a kohen pays for me, I say to my kohen, listen, do me a favor. Let's go back to our money. You pay 2 shekel, a 2 shekel coin. How much is a 2 shekel coin? 2 dinar. Chatzi selah. I guess they had a chatzi selah. If you have a chatzi selah, you pay a chatzi selah. Or 4 guys say, you pay the selah to the kohen, and we'll pay you back a dinar. We'll each pay you back a shekel. Okay, or, no, I'm sorry. A sela is 2 shekel. So he says, which is exactly what you have to pay. You pay a sela, I will pay you back a shekel. It can be confusing. No problem, the Kohen says. He pays the sela, and then I pay him back. So even though if I did that, I would have to pay the Kalbon, if the Kohen does it, he doesn't have to pay the Kalbon. Why? Because he's patur. The Bartenura says, that's only, but if I, a normal person, would pay, then I have to pay the Kalbon. Meaning if a guy borrows from me, okay, the Bartenura adds, Kagon shehilva lehem. He says to me, listen, here's the 10 shekel coin. Imagine that this coin is the sela. I'm pointing to the screen. That doesn't do anything. This coin is the sela. So he says to me, do me a favor. You pay the sela, okay, and I'll pay you back the shekel that I owe you. So if it's b'derech halva'a, the Bartenura says this Mishnah is talking about halva'a. I loan the money. Since I loan the money, I'm saving money. But if it's derech matana, then even I don't pay the kalbon. So make a little chart for you, okay? If I pay derech halva'a, okay, so if I am through somebody who's chayav on kalbon, then the person is chayav, then you pay the kalbon. But if you do it through someone who's patur bekalbon, through a kohen or a woman, then you're patur, then you don't have to pay the extra kalbon. On the other hand, if it's derech matana, we're going to learn in the next Mishnah, if the kohen says, nah, it's a gift, here, I'll pay for you, then no matter what, not the kohen, if the neighbor says, nah, it's a gift, I'll pay for you, it's my treat, then there's no kalbon at all, as we're going to see in the next Mishnah. V'im shakal al yado v'al yad chavero chayav bekalbon echad. And if you pay for yourself and your friend, you're obligated to pay 1 kalbon. I just want to point out, this language, according to the Chachamim's interpretation, is a little unusual because the way we're learning the Mishnah, this is the Ikar Din. Okay? The Ikar Din of kalbon. When you pay for yourself and your friend, you pay 1 kalbon. But when you only pay your own half shekel, according to the way the Kahati explains, if I go to the Beit HaMikdash and I only pay the shekel on my own, I pay my shekel, there is no kalbon. So the language is a little unclear, a little unusual according to this interpretation. Okay? Rabbi Meir says, no, shnei kalbonot. If you pay for yourself and your friend, you pay 2 kalbonot, and according to the Bartenura, Rabbi Meir savar, hashokel machatzita shekel chayav bekalbon. Rabbi Meir says everybody pays a kalbon. Therefore, so he says it's not a money-changing fee. You don't have to pay it because you're changing money. It's an additional fee. Everyone pays the kalbon. So it's a fascinating machloket. The Chachamim say you only pay the kalbon if you pay double, if there's a money changing involved. Whereas the Rabbi Meir says it's not money changing, so therefore you always pay, no matter if you just pay the chasi shekel. Hilkach, therefore, shnaim sheshaklu shekel, if they both pay the shekel, chayavim shtei kalbonot. They pay 2 kalbonot, but we don't pass them like Rabbi Meir. What's Rabbi Meir's opinion based on? I would show you, but this is going on too long. Okay. Hanoten sela v'noten shekel, that's fine if I pay for 2 people at one time. If I pay a shekel, that's, according to the Chachamim, I don't pay. If I pay a sela for 2 people, I pay once. But what happens if I pay a sela and I say, give me change? Okay, then the Mishnah says, chayav shtei kalbonot. You pay 1 for the fee for the giving, and you take 1 back for taking change. That's what the Bartenura says. In that case, the Tanakama admits, echad kalbon le'achrei amatzit shekel notel min ha'ekdesh. Okay, 1 is for the change that you get back. And 1, since you didn't give the proper amount, you have to pay this additional kalbon. Okay, we'll stop here. It's a confusing Mishnah, this idea of kalbon. I feel like I should make a chart just simply to understand the basic opinion. Okay, I made this brief chart. I think this is a really good way of explaining it. According to the Chachamim, which is the Tanakama, what is the chiyuv of the kalbon? The chiyuv of the kalbon is they call it imlat hachlafat kesef. Imla, if you live in Israel, you know what this is. That's a bank fee. The fee for changing money. So therefore, if a person pays chatzi shekel, which is called the shekel in the language of the Mishnah, then you're patur, because if you pay the right amount, you didn't change your money, no problem. But only if you pay a sela, 2 shkalim for yourself and your friend, then you're chayav in kalbon. But that's only, we learned, derech halva'a. Only if you did it by a loan. You're paying a loan. But Rabbi Meir says, Rabbi Meir, the second opinion, says that what is the kalbon? He says it's an additional tashlum nosaf hanovea mechiyuv Torah. It's just an additional chiyuv the Kahati explains, based on the Yerushalmi, that he learned out, he said, the Torah says, Zeh you do, you have to give this exact amount. Rameir says, we don't know exactly you give the right amount, so therefore you added a little more for every payment to make sure that you give the right amount. So therefore, a person who pays the Chatzi Shekel, the right amount, he's still chayiv in the Kalbon because it's part of the essential payment. And if you pay two, if you pay the seller for yourself and your friend, then you have to pay 2 Kalbonot. That's Rabbi Meir's opinion. All right, I know I'm very long. I hope this is clear. Have a great day.